going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? My fellow people out in the world. How's everybody doing? Social media and the internet abroad. You take this off. Hope everybody is faring well. Just want to make a quick video, leave my perspectives on some things that is really paramount that's going on in the world today. Um, I think as leaders, as role models, because we all are role models to somebody. But I think as leaders, as role models, as teachers, as parents, I think we all should, you know, be able to give leadership and give some type of perspective on things and what's going on in the world today, as we know it in America. Speaking on American soil right now, but also going across the globe with the whole world. Things that's going on. So I just want to lend a couple of things in my perspective. Mainly, the reason why I entitled this video, I'm outside of. I had a couple of minutes here because I'm about to go inside and shoot some pool. It helps me to relax my mind a lot. You know, I love shooting pool, playing chess. So, you know, plus I love, getting some practice in for professional. I want to do that one day. It's on my bucket list. Like to play in a chess tournament one day, world chess tournament, and world pool tournament one day. Billiards, pool. But anyway, to the topic at hand. Uh, I enabled it the coronavirus clinical study trial because there was some things that was made on the news yesterday that was really paramount, everybody. For those that say that that clinical studies are not something that's prominent, I really beg to differ, right? Do you know yesterday, today is the 17th of March at the time of this recording. It's my mother's birthday, even though it's the American holiday, St. Patrick's Day, they call it, but it's my mom's birthday today. She's 63 today. My dad's definitely 70, so they're 8 years apart. He's be 71 this year. But happy 63rd birthday, Mom. To Miss Betty Jean. But anyway, I think as a parent that clinical studies, President Trump and his clergy of doctors and specialists and people that that are I guess the best of the best in their fields, in combating this coronavirus, this contagion, this pathogen, this pandemic as it's called. They have the first on the 16th, which is yesterday, clinical study trials for 1 year. It'll last for that they'll follow the patients for. I guess they selected a group of cohorts. Cohort means group for all those that don't know about that study term, right? But they select the first group, the first cohorts of individuals 18 to 55 years of age in Seattle, Washington, where the study is taking place. And the reason why this is so important, of great importance, great importance, is it's not so much the pay, the stipend, or the compensation, but what it's going to enable, where they have the social distancing, or some people call it social quarantining. There's different things people call it or whatever have you, but the thing is the rule that was set out while they're doing this clinical trial at the same time, from what the president said. And these are just some updates to bring people up to speed if they don't know what's going on, unless you've been living under a rock, right? But in America, in terms of the coronavirus, where it's closing off its borders so far as travel going back and forth to Europe, then you got other countries, Canada, it's done the same thing. China, or Asia, I should say, in a whole, that was pretty much, I guess, ground zero from what I can gather. And when these guidelines were stipulated by the government to stop travel, the thing that makes this very just really of importance is that while the millions of testing of the vaccine, do you know that they explained how the testing works and the reason why it's such a slow process to see if you have the coronavirus? The testing that has to take place, it's a swab that they have to put into your nose, go into the nasal cavity, right? Going to the nasal cavity, and it's got to go all the way to the back, from what I'm understanding, to the back of the throat or esophagus or to the back. And so they can do the swab. But what I'm understanding is when they administer this, coughing is always apparent. Someone's going to cough when they do this. Just the reaction, just the uncomfortability of it all, right? And with that test going on, the person administering the test, right, the health expert, the health personnel, they have to have fully clothed hazmat suit with the mask, right? They gotta have the mask on, and not only that, but once they do the swab, because the cough is going to happen, they have to change the suit every single time for each person. Isn't that wow? It's crazy, right? They got to change the suit every time. You know how slow that process will be. You know how diligent and that process will have to take in terms of just the time. And they're talking about having the test kits, having it being commercialized now to administer up to 1 million next week. And then after that, hopefully 2 million, and then 5 million. That's a lot of tests being done. And then they're going to continue to grow and grow. That's why they don't have enough, as they said, tests to go around, and enough clergy, enough health personnel with the beds and the ICUs and all of this that they were saying last night on this live press conference from Washington, if I'm not mistaken, that the president gave with all the doctors and the experts on his clergy. And I really like a couple of points I'm going to make that the doctors have said. And I'm not here to give doom or gloom. That's not why I'm here. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because, if anything, I just wanted to put that out there, that test that's needed today. So when people see people that have a mask on, because usually the mask, from what I understand, from what they put out there, is for the people who have contracted the virus so that they don't spread it, right, to others when they cough, when they sneeze, when they exchange, this, so far as this is contact. Now, having a mask doesn't hurt. I've always been known that always been told that you can err on the side of caution, right? Having a mask, so if someone coughs towards you, if you get around individuals that are coughing, sneezing, things of this nature, it's just like sin, okay, with the Bible. I hope everybody understands this, whether someone's a believer or not, right? It's an invisible enemy, just like sin is, right? Sin is an invisible enemy to Christianity. The same way that the coronavirus or any virus or any bacteria, anything like that, is invisible to the naked eye. So you don't know who has it, obviously, especially if it's being contracted and it's highly contagious, as it said. Even though the target, as they say, is for more older age groups, still we don't know who has it. That's the purpose of the clinical trial in Seattle going on right now. That's the purpose of following these individuals, this group of individuals, for a year, right? And the reason why they have this 15-day, as they say, stipulation that they brought out, the guidelines of staying with 10 people or less in any social gathering, is because it helps. It's something that we can do as a people, right? Not just America, but the world as a people, as humanity, to combat the virus of that spreading. Because if they don't, think about it, if they don't have enough tests to get people tested, and they don't have enough clergy, they don't have enough people, they don't have enough beds, they don't have enough of this, because obviously it's overwhelming, it's overpowering that it could be that the amount of people that have contracted it, then there's no help that can get given. So they need help from us, even though it challenges, a lot of people would say, our freedoms in America. It challenges our way of life in the world, right? We have the right to do what we want. We have free will. All of us do. We have a mind of our own. We can do what we want. But just helping the fellow man, just helping mankind to progress, right? Whether someone believes in a virus or they don't, we all should be on one accord with the fact of, hey, helping one another is what humanity should be all about, right? It should be all about understanding that we shouldn't hurt our fellow man. We should be helping. Does that make sense? So that, with the doctors, it did resonate maybe when they talked about the factor that where we think, like one of the doctors said, where we think we are. Because a lot of people think that, when they quarantine in a household and no school, movie theaters are closing, even this pool hall that I'm at right now, right? They're talking about 10 people or less. That's why I'm here early, as soon as they open, right? So I can be here all day on the pool table. But, the movie theaters have closed down. Uh, a lot of these things that people like bowling alleys, concerts, the NBA, the MLB, the N8, the National Hockey League, the Baseball League, NFL, all of this, it's like so many people are like cringing, right? And I understand because it challenges and it goes against like our quality of life. But then again, you got to think, this is about health, this is about your well-being, right? Whether it's coronavirus or whether it's any kind of virus, anything that's going on, think about the epidemic with that. I mean, a lot of people should look that up, of the 1911 Spanish flu. That is insane how many deaths came from that. And even though this is not the same, but still the spread of how contagious it could be. And there's a lot of cases of people that have been, restored to back to full health. They've had the coronavirus and they've gotten back healthy. You don't see the stats of this though. They don't put these stats out there. So that's how important it is for the millennials, for the people who understand the social media, people that will understand technology, cell phones, just understand networks, right? Network marketing, all of this, just networks in itself, not network marketing, but just networks. People that understand this. You can spread the word and spread more truth and more help a lot of times quicker than NBC or CNBC or CNN or Fox News or any of this that a lot of people might think is propaganda, because a lot of people just don't believe in the government at all anyway, right? And that's totally understandable. You have your right to your own opinion, your right to your own perspectives, but at the same time, right, helping one another in little small groups as possible to not spread this, so that clinical trials can be administered, so that testing can be administered, so that even though it's uncomfortable as it is, right? That's why you don't want to contract it in the first place if you can avoid it, right? Because why would you want to go through that rigorous test? That test, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out sooner or later, because it hasn't been lately that much, but it is going to circle a lot of the actual test and what needs to go down to administer it. Just the test alone is very, very uncomfortable. Think of a colonoscopy. Some people, one person said, I remember reading, think of a colonoscopy, but with the nose. All right, and I'm pretty sure you can't get put to sleep with this, like a colonoscopy. I hear you can, but not with this test, right? So with the coronavirus testing. But anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. About how important clinical trials is. I mean, clinical trials have paved the way for me for so long. You're talking about a person that's done studies over a decade, almost going on this actually is my 12th year of doing them on and off. And the money that it provides is substantial. I mean, they provide so much money, and then you're staying healthy. You're eating right. You're helping the cause of humanity to find out what's going on with the human body and things and how it works and all of this, right? Research and development, right? But it pays so well. It pays big money. And then people take that money, who I know, my fellow entrepreneurs, my fellow funnel hackers, my fellow investors, take that money and invest it into assets. Invest it into assets. Because it's all about assets. Assets make you rich and wealthy, right? Rich Dad talks about this on Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, right? These are all books that Rich Dad and Rich Mom talk about. More parents can spend time teaching their children what's going on the right way to learn about money, because they're definitely not going to learn it in school. They're just not, right? More people are geared towards, how would I say, online. When you're talking about online marketing, when you're talking about online home-based businesses, or just any, like, I really can see a lot of people predicting this, economists and everything. Not even talking about the markets, but just talking about there's going to be a surge, like a paramount climb in online activity. Hopefully it's enough bandwidth to go around, because I can see it's going to be a great, great big surge in online, not just online sales, right, but online education, online information, right? And most of all, it's going to be a big one, I think, in terms of, how would I say, network marketing, affiliate marketing, anything dealing with, like Russell Brunson, I noticed with Traffic Seekers is coming out to make that whole secret book with .com secrets, expert secrets, traffic secrets. Now, I mean, that's going to be a huge thing as well to spread the word with that, in terms of showing people how this works, in terms of like network marketing and affiliate marketing and this internet marketing and just all that. It's going to be big. This is going to grow. So this is a time of good. I think there's going to be a lot that's going to happen. And I think it's going to change a lot of things forevermore too. It's like not going to go back to the same thing. That's just what I foresee. But but also with that being said, like I said, everybody just be safe, just stay in the know, kind of keep yourself in, like I said, small groups. It's just everything helps. One doctor said something that I definitely resonate with, and I'll leave you with this. She said that what Mr. Trump, but the doctor has said, the lady doctor, I forgot her name, but what she has said is in terms of dealing with this virus, is going to take the people independently, like local. It's going to take local communities. The local communities are where it's going to start. Then regional, then national, then all worldwide. But locally is where it starts. Just like the AIDS epidemic when it got combated, we had to fight against that. People won that epidemic, right? The people, independently, what you do, what choices that you make, just like in chess, right? The choices that you make is going to define how we combat this thing. And locally, I feel that we're going to get over it. I definitely feel so. Lord willing, of course. And I definitely believe that, like she said, that's why locally the quarantine of being in the households and keeping yourself safe, safeguarding yourself from others, I think is going to be a local thing, because that wasn't done from the government, as she said. That AIDS epidemic, the AIDS crisis, HIV, all of that, it wasn't done from the government standpoint. It started with you, like the person. It starts with the people individually. That's how it got combated, and that's how it changed for the better. So anyway, with that being said, I leave y'all with that, and hope you stay too blessed to be stressed, always obsessed with success. And yeah, just remember, as I always say to everybody too, prayer. Prayer, definitely a lot of prayer. It helps a lot. Prayer is the key to getting into heaven, but faith is pretty much the door you got to go through, right? With that being said, one love.